decided that it is time to increase the fees, and they have a proposed rule. There's no date that it goes into effect because we're still in the comment period, which means we can still tell them, hey, we don't want this. Okay, we don't want this right now. So I'll be going over, what they're proposing to change, what the new fees are going to be, how that is going to affect people filing, especially when there's multiple family members filing a petition together. And then I'm going to also tell you how you can make your voice heard, how you can tell USCIS that you don't want their fee increases, that we don't need the fee increases right now, especially with everything going on. Like, we are in the cusp of a recession. We are still dealing with inflation, and this is not the time for them to increase these fees, especially when I go over how much they are increasing these fees by. So go ahead and ask me questions in the comments. That's what we're going to be covering today. If this is your first time joining me, hi, welcome. I am attorney Lillian Chukura. I am the owner and attorney at Lily Legal. We help our clients get green cards and citizenships for themselves and their families using the U.S. immigration law system. This channel page is all about helping people that want to immigrate to the US, that want to get a green card or citizenship, learn how to do that and the immigration updates that will be affecting their ability to get that green card or citizenship. Okay, so if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe, like this page, so that you will know every time I do an upload or go live. I go live every Friday, unless it's a holiday or I am in court or USCIS interviews, because, working immigration lawyer, things happen. So we do a live every Friday. Join us, ask questions, participate. Okay, this is your time to ask me questions. So use it. The next thing is we're gonna go right in. Okay, I'm gonna go right into the proposed provisions and the fees. If you want to schedule a private consultation with me, we do a strategy session. You can schedule that by calling my office. Number is always on the screen, and going to my website, lilylegal.com. All right. So let's jump right in. Let me share my screen. Boom, right there. So this is the proposed changes. Okay. This is the summary of the proposed rules. You can get this on the Federal Register. I can actually, you know what? I'll put a link to it in the description after this live. I will do that. I'll put a link to it in the description so that you can always go in and see what it says and all of that. Now, the first thing they want to do is adjust the fees. And before we continue, sleeping child, snoring, just know you're going to hear you're going to hear her snoring, so it's okay. um it's not you, it's coming from me. So first thing they want to change is, of course, the fees. So that's the thing right here, adjusting the fees. There's a table, 26 of them, that goes over exactly what fees they want to increase and how much they want to increase it by. Okay, they want to add new exemptions for certain humanitarian programs. So humanitarian programs are like people seeking asylum, people, refugees, things like that. They want to kind of change those, and also being able to apply for fee waivers. They want to change, to remove, not even change, remove the exemption for age. So typically, if you are, for example, under 14, if you are under 14 and you are filing with a parent to get your green card, you typically could pay less. They want to take that away. Okay. if you were of a certain age, typically around 75, if you are applying for a green card or citizenship, you do not need to pay a biometrics fee. They're changing that as well. So that's what this means by removing fee exemptions that are based only on age. So anything, any fee reductions that you were getting because you were because you were a certain age, those are going away. Okay, those are going away. So um so this is a good thing. They're eliminating the return check fee. So typically, if you send a check with your application and the check bounces, they do charge you a $30 fee. Once they send your application back, they send it back with a bill for $30. So they're eliminating that. The biometrics fee. So right now, for most applications, it will have the application fee, and then it will also have a biometrics fee separately. And the biometrics fee currently is $85. So if you are applying for adjustment of status, you would be looking at the fee for adjustment of status and the $85 biometrics fee, which means depending on how old you are, you may not need to pay the biometrics fee. They're taking that away. They're saying the biometrics fee is now included in the fee we're charging you. There's only one fee, there's no separate biometrics fee. Okay. They're also, actually, this is the biggest thing for me, because I work with families, I work with people, spouses filing for adjustment of status. So this is one of the biggest things, right? They will now require a separate fee for each form. So right now, when you're applying for a green card, right, you're applying for adjustment of status, you are allowed to also apply for a work permit and a travel document. You can do those two things for free because you have a green card application pending. If this rule is if the fees are increased, if the rule is applied, that means you will need to pay a separate fee for the green card application, right? Separate fee for the green card application, separate fee for the travel permit, and separate fee for the work authorization. That's a lot of money. And I'll show you exactly how much more you would have to pay to now have a travel permit and a work authorization with your green card application. Okay. You If you are filing under the work visas, there's different types, there's different categories, different classifications, but as of today, you just file a I-129, there's only one fee, no matter the category, no matter the classification. They're taking that away as well. They're saying that each classification is going to have a separate fee. So some classifications are going to have lower fee than other classifications. So I'll also show you what that looks like. They're going to be revising the fees for the adoptions. Yeah. And then they're just going to be creating lower fees for forms filed online versus forms that are filed on paper. So if you're able to file a certain form online, so for example, the citizenship application can be filed online. So if you file it online, based on their proposed rule, you will pay less than if you file it on paper. So needless to say, for most of my clients, we will be filing online if it's possible to save them the money. Okay, so let us now. Actually, I'm going to. There's a lot of comments, so I'm going to go ahead and respond to some of the comments, and then go ahead and we will be jumping into the actual fees, because that's the next step. We're gonna jump into the fees and talk about how much they increase by. Okay, so welcome. How long? Actually, let me show this. How long does it take for USCIS send you a letter about your interview for green card? When have sent you notification? Okay, so I'm assuming that you apply for a green card and you are wondering when you will get your interview. It really depends on your specific field office and how long they are processing applications. I do have a video on my channel that talks about how to check your processing time based on where your application was filed. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. I see a clarification. It has been weeks now since I received a notification on my USCIS email, but up until now, not received my notification in my mailbox. So that's normal. Typically, if you have it set up that they will send you notification if you created an account. If you have a USCIS account that you can log into, go ahead and log in, and a copy of the notice should be in your USCIS account. um, if you are if you let's say you received the notice today, typically give them a couple weeks, because it does take time for them to get to those things. Okay. They give you the notification so you know to expect it in the mail, but it does take them. It can take a couple weeks for it to reach you. Okay. After reviewing the notes, your card is being produced. How long will it take? Okay. All right. So, how long will it take to receive the card after it is approved and being produced? Typically, within a month of it being approved and um, the status being changed to card is being produced. So, typically, within a month of that status changing to card is being produced, you would get your card in the mail. Again, if your address changes, go ahead and change it with USCIS, so that you are not in a position where they send the card and you're not able to get it and it gets sent back to USCIS. Okay. Um, okay, all right. And I think, yep, those are all the questions that I see so far. These ones seem to be kind of elaborating on the previous questions. So go ahead, ask me questions. I am going to pause and respond to those as we go through. Now, let's get into the reason we're all here, which is how much are we going to have to pay extra if this rule is actually approved? Okay, that's the question. So if the rule is approved, I'm going to go over citizenship applications, um, adjustment of status, work permit, applications for children. So just stick with me, and the fiance applications. So the N400 is the application for naturalization. So if you are a green card holder and you want to apply for US citizenship, you will be applying under the N400 unless you qualify for a certificate of citizenship through your parents. Okay. If you do not qualify for a certificate of citizenship, you will be applying under the N400. This is for everyone that does not qualify for a certificate of citizenship. The fee is going to go up to 760. So today, for most people applying for citizenship, naturalization today, their fee is 725 unless they're of course 75 and older, where there's no biometrics fee. Okay, so today the fee for most people is $725, and the filing fee is going to increase to 760. This is whether you file online or not, whether you need biometrics or not. This is the fee. Okay, there is a reduced fee. You have to request for a reduced fee. And that is going to be 380 moving forward. It was 405 with the biometrics fee. So that's a $25 decrease on that. Um, let's see. And then over here, this is for people that qualify for certificate of citizenship that are automatically citizens based on their parents, when their parents became citizens and when they got their green card, right? Those individuals can apply for a certificate of citizenship. The N600 is applied for within the US. If you are outside of the US and you meet the requirements, you are also able to file the N600K. So for those applications, the fee is going up by $215. So it was $1170. Now it's going to be $1385. If you are outside of the US applying for citizenship based on your parents, the fee can be prohibitive. Okay. So just know that there is an increase in that fee if you have been holding off applying for certificate of citizenship for your child. This is the time to do it. Okay. Unless you want to pay the $215 extra, this is the time to do it. Okay, before the fees are approved. Hopefully the fees are not approved, but if they are, you want to make sure that you get your applications in before the increase. So these fees, the humanitarian grounds, there's no fee for those. Okay, there wasn't a fee before, there's still no fees currently. And then, of course, some of these are still humanitarian grounds. So the refugee and asylum relative petition is going to remain the same, no fee. This is for people that are granted asylum in the US and they want to file for their family to be able to also get the asylum designation. So if you came into the US, you applied for asylum and your asylum was approved, and you have your minor children in your home country, you can apply for the I-730 for them to be able to get a visa to the US and get their green card here once they arrive and apply for a green card. Okay. So the next thing I want to cover is, of course, the application for temporary protected status is staying the same. Okay, whether you file online or on paper, it is staying the same. So that's good. That's one less thing you have to think about. All right. The T visas, the U visas, there's going to stay no fee because, again, those are humanitarian grounds and the government wants you to be able to apply for them. However, remember, if you are a U1 non-immigrant, so you're a family member of someone applying for a U visa or qualifies for a U visa, you will have a fee, and that fee is increasing by $40. Okay. Now let's get to the nitty gritty, the family-based petitions, which is the biggest range of people that join my lives, that join my page. Is you want to know how much more is it going to cost to bring your family member to the US? Well, let's get into it. If you are filing for a fiance, the fee is going to go from $535 to $720. Again, this is just USCIS fees. This does not include the fee at the embassy, right? So the $260 at the embassy is still the $260 at the embassy. This is only for USCIS fees, not the consulate fees. All right. So the USCIS fee for the fiancé petition is going to be $720. So it's going from $535 to $720. And then the I-130 petition, is going to go to $710 from $535 if you file it online. If you file your I-130 petition online, you will be paying $710. If you are filing it on paper, you will be paying $820. That's $110 difference between filing online and filing on paper. And of course, the current fee for an I-130 is $535. And that's going to be going up by either $175 if you're filing online or $285 if you are filing on paper. All right. And remember, if you have a family member in the US that qualifies to also apply for adjustment of status at the same time, you will be including this fee on their adjustment of status application. So this plus adjustment of status application would be what you would pay for them to file for not just the I-130 but the green card application as well. All right. So some people need waivers, and I want to cover that. So the I-601 waiver is going to go up. Okay. I knew this was coming. So the I-601 waiver basically makes it so that if you enter the US without authorization and you have not violated any other immigration laws, you have not had any criminal records that would affect you being able to get a green card, you can apply for this provisional waiver to allow you to go for your interview outside of the US and come back in. That is going from 715 to 1105. That is a $390 difference. All right. So it is really important that if you know you're going to need this waiver, that you are not delaying your case, because we do not know when these rules, if these rules will be approved, and if they are, when they will go into effect. I will talk about what would affect, what would make these rules take longer to be applied at the end. Okay. The I-751 is for people that have to remove conditions. So people that have a 2-year residency will need to apply for the I-751 to get their 10-year residency. And that fee is increasing by $515 because why not? Right? It's going from $680 with the biometrics fee to $1195. Right? So when I tell people don't wait, right? Once you qualify to apply for removal of conditions, please do it. Don't wait. Um, Now, the employment based applications, these are for temporary employment visas. Like I said, every single employment based temporary visa goes through the I-129 application, and that is going to be increasing depending on your type of application. So right now, no matter what form you're filing, it is $460, right? You're filing $460 for the I-129. Now they're breaking it down into the different categories, the different classifications. This right here, the H-1B registration fee, it was $10. Okay. So H-1B registration is like your employer decides that they will file an H-1B application for you. They have to pre-register and then enter the lottery, right? It was $10. $10. Now it's going to be $215. So for some employers, this is going to be cost prohibitive for them, because if it was $10 to put in for 20 people, that's $200. So if you have 200, if you have 20 foreign nationals that you want to apply for, now you're gonna go from paying $200 for 20 people to paying $215 for just one person. So that is going to make it harder for some employers to apply for foreign workers. Okay. And the fees does not decrease. Okay. All the fees are going up. So depending on what type of employment visa you're applying for, just know that your employer will most likely have to pay the higher fees if these go into effect before the H-1B season starts, which I don't foresee it going into effect before the H-1B season starts. But just know, moving forward, that's going to be the case. All right. Now, um, let us. Oh, this is my favorite because when I saw this, like, so EB 5. These are permanent residency for investors. So investors that have to invest at the minimum $800,000 at the minimum. $800,000 to get a green card in the US. They have to invest it into a business that hires at least 10 people full time. So for you to apply for that investor program, it is going from $3,675 to $11,160. So yeah, this is this may get cost prohibitive for some investors because the filing fee is filed with the application. It's not like you have a payment plan for the filing fee. You need to put all of that in at once. The work authorization is also going up. So if you're filing online, it's going to be 555. If you're filing on paper, it's going to be 650. That's of course if you don't need biometrics. If you need biometrics, it is just 650 whether you're filing online or on paper. So it's really good to keep that in mind. All right. And then going back to investors, when investors want to remove conditions, so investors typically get a 2-year green card. So USCIS can keep an eye on them and make sure they actually hire the 10 people they said they were going to hire. That is going from 3750. It's a lot of numbers. Bear with me, it's a lot of numbers. 3750 to 9525. Okay, again, that's for investors. So luckily, that's not for everyone. That's just for investors. And then to replace your green card or renew your green card. So if you have a 10-year green card and it is expiring and you want to renew it, the fee is currently $455. If you need biometrics, it's going to be $540. That's the fee for today. They want to change that, right? If you file online and you need biometrics, it will be $455. If you file on paper, it is going to be $465. So the fee is actually going to go down for the renewal of your permanent residency card. So yay for people that want to renew their green card, right? If you want a travel permit, which is the I-131, you will be paying a little more. If you need biometrics, right now it is $660. If you are applying with a green card application, it is $0. But if you are applying without a green card application, you are paying $660 because you'll need the biometrics, or you'll be paying the $630 once the fees change. All right. If you are filing a motion to appeal or a notice to appeal or a motion to reopen, reconsider, USCIS made a decision and you want them to, reconsider, it is going to go from $675 to $800. So they're making it harder and more expensive for you to question their decision. So isn't that nice? So the next thing here is right here, adjustment of status, which is the green card application. This is the biggest thing everyone that comes to the US wants. They want a green card so that they can eventually get their citizenship. The fees are going up. So right now, if you need biometrics, so again, the people that don't need biometrics are over 65 or under 14. All right. So over 75 or under 14, no biometrics as of today. All right. So if you are applying today for a green card, you are paying $1,225. If you apply once these fees go into effect, it is going to be $1,540. And this is the same for children under 14. Children under 14 that are filing with their parents, typically will pay 750. Their parent will of course pay the 1225, but the child that's under 14 will pay 750. Now the child, the parent, they're all paying the same amount. So let me put this in perspective for you. If you are married to a US citizen, you have a child that's the US citizen's stepchild, and the US citizen wants to file for you and your child, you would be paying a green card application fee of 1540, and your child would be paying a green card application fee of 1540, in addition to the I-130 application fee that we already discussed, which of course is going up. So it's a lot. So as I said before, if you are, so for most of my clients, we file the green card application, the work permit, and the travel permit all together, because as of today, it's all included in the low fee of $12.25 for the green card application. So as of today, if you file a green card application, you are allowed to file a work permit and a travel permit application for free. If this rule is passed, that is going to change. Okay, that is going to change. They are going to charge for every single form is going to have its own fee. So as of today, if you're filing all three forms, so the green card application, the work permit, and the travel permit together, you are only paying $12.25. If this rule goes into effect, you are now paying $28.20. That's a 130% increase. And remember, if you also need an I-130, that's not included in this fee right here. So you will still need to include the fee for the I-130. And if you're filing for your children, you'll need to include their fees too. So this is going to make it way more costly for people to apply for the green card, the work permit, and the travel permit. What I foresee happening with this is some people are going to just be like, you know what, I don't need to travel. I'm going to skip the travel permit and just do the work permit, which is going to be this amount. So if you skip the travel permit, you would be paying $2,190 instead of $2,820. So this is the fee for just the green card application and the travel and the work authorization. So the I-485 and the I-765 is going to go from $12.25 to $21.90. So yeah, I'm not happy with these. It is going to make it so much harder for people that are already struggling, because most of the time the non-US citizen is not working or is not able to legally work, and it's going to make it harder for them to be able to afford to apply for a work permit so that they can legally work and be able to get a social security number and be able to get a driver's license. Like, y'all don't get me started. So the fees for basically almost everything is increasing. There are certain forms that are not increasing by that much or not increasing at all. If you want to change your status, so if let's say you came on a visiting visa and you want to change your status to a student, that fee is going to increase from $370 to $620. If you file on paper, and then if you file online, it is going to be $525. All right. If you are filing a waiver, so let's say you are found to be inadmissible to the US, the filing fee right now is $930. That is going to increase to $1,050. So that's a $120 increase. So these increases is really going to affect families and individuals that want to get green cards, work permits, travel permits, citizenship, because the citizenship fee also went up significantly. So those are the fees that I really wanted to go over with you all, because they are going to be very cost prohibitive for people, especially if you are applying for more than one person at a time. Okay, so I do want to go over, because people always ask me when they want to decide between a fiance visa and a marriage based visa, which one is less costly. So that equation is going to change. So as of today, the fiance one is more costly than the marriage one. That's just on a basic level. The fiance visa is always going to be more expensive because it's a three-step process and each step has its own fees, whereas the marriage one is a two-step process and each step has its own fees. However, you're not paying for a green card application in the US. Okay, so for a fiance visa, you are going from, one second, y'all. You are going from the first step being 535 to 720. Okay. For the marriage one, you're going from 535 to either 710 or 820. For most of my clients, it's going to be 710 because we'll do that application online and save you the extra $110. All right. So the fees are still comparable here. If you file online, if you file on paper, it's going to be $100 difference in the filing fees between the fiance and the marriage one. Okay. If you complete the second part, happens at the embassy. For the fiance one, it is $260 at the embassy, unless the embassy also decides to change their fees. I'll let you know if that also happens. But as of today, it's still $260. And then once your fiance comes into the US, they will must file a green card application. Now, you need to decide if they're also going to file a work permit, because they cannot work until their green card is approved unless they have a work permit that's approved before the green card. Right. So if you're going to also be filing for the work permit and the green card application, that's an additional $21.90. But if you're filing a marriage case, you do the 710, and then the rest happens at the embassy, and that currently is $445. When your spouse comes into the US, they will have to pay the green card fee to get the physical card, and that is going to be $265. Right? So the fee for the fiance visa is going to be more than the fee for the marriage one. So if cost is your only concern, then yes, the fiance one is going to be more costly, about 2,000 more than the marriage one, if you're including of course, a work permit, which you should, because you want to make sure that your person can work legally and get a social and be able to get a license and all that good stuff. So that's the bad news. Right? That's the bad news. Now let's talk about what you can do about it. Right? What can you do about it? How can you make a difference here? And this is where you can make a difference, right? I'm also going to put this in the description of this video, and I'll probably pin it to the chat, to the comment section as well, so that you can see it. If you go to this URL, like I said, I will be putting this in the description because I just realized I did not. If you go to this URL, you can make your voice heard. Okay, you can type in your comments right here, right? You can type in your comments, or you can upload a document. All right. So the rule is in the comments stage. So whenever USCIS or any government agency wants to change their rules, including the fees, they have to put it through the rule making process. And part of the rule making process is that us, the people, can comment and basically let them know what we think of their new rule. And well, this is where you do it. Okay. I have made it easy for you. You don't even have to go on the website and search. Right. I have the link for you. This is really where the difference is made. This is where you can make a difference. The more comments they have, the more they have to go through all the comments before they can actually approve this, right? They have to go through every single comment. So the more comments they have, the longer it's going to take them to make a decision, to make a final rule. And the longer it's going to give you to actually file based on the current fees. Okay. So remember, you you can make a difference. So if you prefer writing it on paper versus typing it in here, go ahead, write it, take a picture, go here, upload it. Okay. Like I said, I will be putting this URL in the comments. This is where like I told you last video, you can make a difference. Okay. It's Immigration Advocacy Day. On this page is how can you you know these rules are coming, right? You know they want to increase these fees. You see how much it's going to increase by. You see the difference it's going to make in people's lives. And probably you may want to apply for a family member, or you're the one being applied for, and you're realizing the fees, if it increases, is going to make it harder for you to get a green card, to get your citizenship, because you will need to take more time to save to be able to even start the process. So go ahead and tell the US government why this fee increases is unfair, not the right time, how it can affect you and your family specifically, how it can affect immigrants as a whole, right? How this can cause people to keep staying in the US without getting documentation because they cannot afford it. So this is where you can have your voice heard. Make your voice heard. You have 52 days. Okay? You have 52 days to comment. So go ahead. Again, I will be putting this link in the description. Go ahead, click the link, make your voice heard. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone that supports immigrants to go ahead and comment, right? On how this rule will really affect an immigrant's ability to file for a green card, citizenship, or to file for family. And also, US citizens are affected by this as well, because a US citizen that wants to file for their spouse, their fiance, their children will have to pay more. So go ahead. Go ahead. Make your voice heard. Let's, we have 52 days to make our voices heard and tell the US government and USCIS that we do not want these rules. Okay, we do not want the fee increases. We do not want to pay a separate fee for a green card application, a work permit, and a travel permit. Okay, so that's my that is my pitch today, is to get you all to go and make a comment. If you know, if you comment on here and ask questions and do all of that, go and talk to them too, because USCIS is the government agency that makes these fees go up. They make these rules. So let's tell them that we don't want them to make those rules, to change the fees. Okay? So this is where you would go, type in your comment, upload documents, you know, say that you're an individual, or if you're doing this on behalf of an organization, you can also click that if you're doing it, and you can also comment anonymously. Okay, just know that you don't have to say that you're this person or you're working with this organization or anything. You can do this anonymously as well. So hopefully that has convinced you to go and comment. All right. Like I said last week, we are going to be doing some immigration advocacy today, and this is how you can make your voice heard. Especially, of course, if you are yourself an immigrant, if you have family members that are immigrants, and if you just support immigrants, this is your time to make your voice heard. All right. So if you have any questions, please go ahead, put in the comments. I do go back and respond to those. If I don't see any comments, then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this helpful, go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and like this video. It tells, you know, YouTube, Facebook that people want this content. And of course, if you don't want to miss any of my uploads, go ahead and subscribe and like my page so that you do not miss any of my upload. If you are listening to this and you're like, oh, I am done waiting, I am going to start my process now so that I am not caught up on this rule change, fee increase mess, go ahead, contact me, schedule a strategy session. Go ahead and schedule a strategy session so we can see what you qualify for and get you started with the current fees, because these fees may go up. So let's make sure that you are preserving your rights to the current fee amount. Go ahead, schedule a consultation. Let's see what you qualify for and get you on your journey to fulfilling your immigration dreams. And as always, I am Lillian Chukura. I am the owner of Lily Legal, where we do immigration law and we do it well. That